There we go. I always forget to do that. The clap.
Oh, the
to
clap.
sync it
That's
up.
important.
Damn,
Yeah.
man, it's
Gotta
so
do that.
important. Otherwise, like I'm like spending literally like I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes, not 20.
Man, we
just
should have
like
communicated. We could have done.
we could have done. Should we just do it again right
Let's
now?
do it again. Yeah.
All right, 3,
That's
2,
right.
1. Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, dude, who are you?
Hey, my name is Kozo Kaos, and I am a juggler, magician, and street performer.
And are you based in? You're based in Wellington, right?
Now, yeah, I've recently moved here. Before here, I was in Melbourne,
Yeah.
and then before that, I was in Auckland.
What's I'm guessing COVID brought you
Yes.
back over here from Melbourne, right?
Yeah, I kind of moved over to Melbourne, be like, okay, I'm going to be based here, do my
Yeah.
thing, starting getting gigs and touring around the world, and then, COVID happens. I was like, nah, I have to come back, because Melbourne lockdown was like 8 months long.
It's brutal.
I spent like 6 months of that.
Really?
Yeah.
How are you supporting yourself?
Oh, man, I went through my savings, and
Yeah,
then
I
I couldn't
bet.
get any government support from Australia, so I had to come back.
Was there any kind of like foreign aid that you could apply for from New Zealand being overseas? Like, I wonder as like a New Zealand citizen, like, hey, I'm in Australia and I can't survive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a relief package or something
I
like
don't
that?
think I didn't meet the minimum requirement. I think some people were, but like I was only there for like 2 years, so like I was
Right.
kind of new in Australia. So
Oh, I mean like New Zealand giving you money while you're in Australia.
I don't think that was possible.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine it would
I
be.
think you have to be in the country
In the
get
country to
government
get it.
support. Yeah, that was what I was trying to do, but didn't work out. So
Dude, so was this year supposed to be like your year, like the big year?
well, like last year was 2019 was definitely my biggest year.
Right.
Like, I went all over the world and did really great shows, made some money, and then I was like, okay, cool. 2020, I'm gonna go to other places. Like I was gonna do Canada, I was gonna go to Germany, but had to cancel all of it.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, good.
Yeah, I almost forgot how old I was.
God, that's good for me. Okay. I'm 25, and I
Okay.
always get worried when I'm like, when I meet people who are younger than me doing more than me. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I got to speed up. But you're like where I want to be at your age.
Okay.
Touring, doing your thing.
Cool.
That's awesome. Do you find, so you're a magician, street performer. What kind of street performance do you do?
Well, in my street show, I
Mhm.
do like a 40-minute show, and I call it a circus stunt show, and I do like fire juggling, knife juggling, and I do a thing called ladder walking. So I have
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got like a 10-foot ladder, and I balance on top, freestanding, and then I juggle while I balance.
A lot of practice.
Lots. Yes, ladder walking is actually very difficult.
Have you ever busted your ass, like broken any bones?
I haven't broken any bones, but I have like fallen, like in the wind. Like it'll push me off quite easily. Or I've had like, drunk people come through, try and push me off. But luckily I saw the guy coming, so I was like, oh, this guy looks dangerous. Hop down and yeah.
Plus, you have your knives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That as well.
Freaking hurl those freaking
They don't
things.
really care if I've got a knife or not.
Do they not? They just go for it.
Yeah, I can't use it as a weapon.
That's
but,
true. Are they not? They're not sharp, are they?
Yeah, a little secret. They're not sharp.
Damn. Should we? I don't want to give away any secrets here.
Just censor that part.
I'll censor that. Yeah.
No, they're actually made for juggling. They're props, so they just look sharp. But we can't actually use sharp props, especially on the street.
I bet. Is there like a Is there? Do they? So you start with juggling. What do you call them? Not balls, but the sticks. Juggling sticks.
Oh
Is that what it is?
yeah, clubs.
Clubs.
Yeah.
And
They're called-
relative to the knives, are they like pretty much identical as far as weight
Uh,
goes and feel?
For me, I find clubs are definitely easier. They're lighter. They're made of plastic. But
Mhm.
knives are. I don't know. I don't really like knives that much because they are heavy
Mhm.
and they spin really awkward. And especially, they're not sharp, but they're still like made of steel. So like there are sharp edges that could kind of cut your hand. So I do prefer clubs, and it's definitely easier to learn and
Yeah.
do tricks with.
I imagine with the wind too, it could like catch.
The knives are pretty wind resistant.
They are?
I've juggled them in the wind quite a few times, especially here in Wellington.
Yeah,
but
hell yeah.
most of the time, like maybe 85% of the time, they're wind resistant.
And then when they're not, they just swing a tiny bit to the left.
Yeah, I can
swing
feel
to
it
the
like
right.
getting pushed to the side or like towards me. So like I try and find where the wind's going, and like I try and juggle towards the wind. Because then if it does blow away, it'll just come towards me, and I
True.
can just gather them or whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to 2019.
Yeah.
You took your. Do you take your act, or are you just performing?
I take my show. So
Okay.
basically, I just have a suitcase full of props, and that is my 40-minute show.
Right.
And then I've just got a carry-on bag with clothes and costumes or whatever. And then I just, take that around the world. And I do cabaret acts as well, like stage performance. Like I can do like a 6-minute comedy bit or juggling to music or magic. So those are smaller props, so they fit in my carry-on and just carry it all around with me. And then, while I do festivals around the world, like I mainly do buskers festivals and fringe festivals. So like last year I did like Edinburgh Fringe. Before that I went to London and I performed in Covent Garden with my street show. And then in Edinburgh I did my street show there as well. And then a few cabaret spots.
And so when you're doing these like the street shows, right? Yeah. Because you have to pay to get into the fringe festivals, right?
As a street performer, I don't think you need to pay. Because I know the indoor shows, you have to pay like a registration fee and a venue fee and everything.
It can be quite expensive.
Yeah, for street performing, I can't remember. I don't think there was a registration fee. If there was, it'll be small.
Okay.
But you do need to register as a street performer to perform on the designated spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you'll get allocated like a 40-minute slot.
Yeah, so basically with street performing, well, for example, in Edinburgh.
Run me through the whole process.
Yeah.
It's like I want to perform as a street performer in Edinburgh. What do I do?
Okay, so you go on the website, register as a street performer, and then you send through your detail, your info, your insurance details, and then when you arrive, you get a pass as a street performer pass. And then pretty much every morning at 10 a.m. there is a draw where we all meet at the St. Giles Cathedral, I think. And then pretty much there's going to be like 100 street performers there every morning. And we do a thing called a draw where we put our name badges in the bag, draw out names, and then we have a big whiteboard with names of the spots and time slots.
Right.
And then when your name gets drawn, you go up front and then you write your name on your preferred time and spot. And then that's your show for the day.
Is there a chance you don't get a spot?
Yeah, definitely. Because there's too many performers. So normally, if you're lucky, you get one. But
one a day.
One a day, yeah.
Can you get more? 2, 3, 4?
If someone decides not to do their show that they booked, we get, like a message on a Facebook group or something saying, hey, there's a spot open, there's a draw 5 minutes before we meet up and then try and get that spot. So
right.
We always make it fair by doing a draw. We don't do first come, first serve.
So there's a real chance that you could go to Edinburgh Fringe. And how many days are you doing? Are you doing like the 30 days?
Yeah, the whole run. Yeah.
Okay, so the whole run. There's a chance that like you just don't get anything.
Yeah, I had a friend that had 4 days in a row that didn't get a show, which is like, oh man, that kind of sucks. But the thing with Edinburgh, it's quite big, so like you can actually go somewhere else and do shows as well. Like there's spots, but otherwise you can wait around, see if someone doesn't do a show or someone can't make it to their spot, and then jump in.
And are you living like, when it comes to money, like check to check when it comes to those shows? Like, let's say your friend who didn't get 4 shows in a row, is he just like all of a sudden like, holy crap, okay, I have no money now, I really need to get a show going?
Yeah.
Or are they pretty self-sufficient? Do they
I think some people will go prepared to, well, most of us are prepared to go to lose money, right? Because making a profit at fringe festivals is very difficult. Like, we're pretty happy if we break even or make a small profit. But like, we're all just there to have fun, It's like an annual gathering for us. I mean, for everyone, I guess, because it's the world's biggest arts festival. So like, you get all the performers in one spot for the whole month. It's just a big party.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I want to do it. Are you doing any of the fringe festivals here in New Zealand?
No, I was because the deadline closed for New Zealand Fringe. I didn't even know I was coming back, right? And then I came back and I was like, oh, maybe I should, try and apply for the fringes. I had like a week before the deadline for New Zealand Fringe. I was like, oh, it's not quite enough time to kind of sort out and do something, because like I have new ideas that I want to do for my indoor shows, but then I've got my usual indoor shows that I could have just be like, hey, I'm going to do this that I did 3 years ago, but I want to do something new instead. So I decided not to register.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I'll be around for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, with your performance, I wonder if you could still just do your street performance during Fringe.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the plan. I'm just going to do, I'll be on Cuba Street or the waterfront doing my shows, and then I'll try and get like cabaret spots. Like I know there's a few variety shows that look for acts during Fringe. So
Definitely.
I'm gonna try and talk to people. Be like, hey, do you need a juggler? Do you need a magician?
Everyone needs a juggler. Everyone. I think that's a real option, man. Because I think when you're going into the Fringe festivals, for the most part, like the advantage you get from paying for your registration and paying for those things is advertising.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. Like, do you advertise as a street performer?
As a street performer, no.
Because it's foot traffic that you're really
yeah.
going
Well,
for,
when I'm
right?
actually on the street, yeah, because that's the hard part about being a street performer. Starting a show, you have to gather your own crowd, and
you
the
must
people
have to
that
be
are
such a hype man.
yeah, the people that are stopping, they don't know what they're about to see. Yeah, exactly. So you're like, hey, sir, come watch me. I'm pretty good, you know.
Do you reckon you could be a good salesman?
I've done spruiking before.
What's spruiking?
Spruiking, you know, like in front of like jewelry stores or like farmers or whatever. There's a guy with a microphone. Be like, hey, come over here. We're doing a sale, 50% off these.
Dude, I've never
suits.
seen that.
Really?
Is that in New Zealand?
I think. I don't know. No, I think it's rare here in New Zealand. I've seen a few, but yeah, it's called spruiking. I don't know what it was called until my friend told me. But
spruiking.
yeah,
You did it?
I've done it once. Yeah,
you'd be
because
so
like
good at that.
I had an agent in Auckland saying, "Hey, you know, you're a performer. You're good at talking. Do you want to do this job?" I was like, "Sweet, okay." Just stood there with a microphone and a speaker, being like, "Hey, you come and buy this. You know, 50% off today. Oh, yeah, you know, your girlfriend. I think she needs a new ring. You know."
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, just the 2 hours of that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? So to get your spot here in Wellington, right? You're applying through the Wellington City Council.
Yeah, we get a busker's license through the city council.
How much does that cost?
It was free, I believe, here in Wellington. Yeah, you just register your name and details, and then you just get a email with your license.
Cool. And then do you have to apply for certain times?
Once every year, I think. Yeah.
Oh, and then you apply. So like, I'm gonna apply for this year, and I'm gonna have like a spot every week.
Yeah, so with the thing, with the licensing, every city and country does it differently, right? So here in Wellington, you apply for the license, it lasts a year, and then there's a few spots that you can work, like the waterfront or the Cuba Street. Like for me, there's different categories. So the type of show that I do is called a circle act. Basically, it's when you do a 30 to 40 minute show, gathering a crowd, that's called a circle show. And then you'll see musicians. They're just walk by buskers where they just find a small spot and then they just play. People walk by, give them donations. Like our shows, we have to gather the crowd, do the show, and then ask for donations at the end. So depending on the category, you've got different spots. Like walk by performers, musicians, they can pretty much perform anywhere on Cuba Street. Some spots down Courtney as well, I think, and then Waterfront. But for us, because we do dangerous things as well, and we gather large crowds, we need the space for it. So pretty much Cuba Street and like the Waterfront are the only spots that we can do. I think there's a few others on like in front of a train station and Courtney, but I've never worked those spots. I just stuck to the two, Cuba and Waterfront.
Yeah. What do you reckon like the unique aspects of like a Kiwi audience are? Do you find them like a bit more reserved when it comes to engaging with the shows?
Kiwi audiences are really fun. They get really into it. But I think sometimes they're quite shy. So like, because the spaces we work are very limited, so we have to try and squeeze everyone in. We put out a rope, and then we try and get people to come up to the rope. Sometimes it's very difficult to try and get them to come forwards, even if the rope is here and like they're like 5 steps away. They won't move forwards because they're kind of unsure or like quite reserved. Oh, I don't know if I can trust this guy. Or so I kind of try and be as friendly as possible, and I'll do the tricks as to like break the ice, and be like, hey, if you like the show, come forwards and let's have a great time. And then usually it works, but
yeah,
I do find Kiwi audiences harder to like try and like move them or be like, hey, if you're blocking the footpath, I'm going to get in trouble. Can you guys help out? Please come forwards. Fill up any gaps.
Hey, if you enjoyed that, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the left-hand side. And to watch other episodes, click one of those squares on the right. If you only want to listen to this and don't have time to watch the full video, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are listened to online. Thanks. Bye.